Our next guest got crime rates in his city to the lowest in 27 years, and he's planning to fight that surge of crime there now in the Windy City. Joining us to discuss the mayor of Orland Park in the Chicago area and Republican congressional candidate in Illinois, Keith Pekau, joining us live here. Mayor, thanks so much for joining us here. I'm sure this is of concern to you each and every day, and for us reporting it in the news, Chicago seems to be in the headlines. Chicago's and shootings each and every weekend seem to be something of a headline here. Who is responsible for this when, in terms of politics, political leaders? Where does the buck stop there, Mayor?
Well, thank you for having me. I think it starts and it lays at the feet of Kim Foxx and Lori Lightfoot. In Chicago, they're not enforcing the law. She's mistreated the police. They've had many people retire, many people leave because of it. Kim Foxx is operating a revolving door, and the catch and release policies that she supports have just continued to put criminals back on the street time and time and time again with ankle monitoring or I-bonds, which is own recognizance. And we keep seeing the same criminals over and over and over again. And all of that crime moves out of the city and into the suburbs.
And when it does that, I know that you have some programs to keep the problems out of your area, and I can highlight a few I believe that we have. Some of the ones that you have here: youth supervision programs, car checking for stolen cars, checks on drugs and guns, creating rules so that if businesses aren't citing criminals, the business will receive a citation. Bottom line, what did you put in place that seems to be working for your area, sir?
Well, first and foremost, we support our police, which is probably the most important thing because it keeps our police on the jobs. But several things that have been put in place. Our mall put a youth supervision policy in place that we support with our officers as well, and that has helped dramatically because we have a continued presence in the mall. We also do things like check license plate readers and things like that as cars. If there's a stolen car that comes into town, we jump on that right away. We also have stops. If somebody's smoking pot while they're driving, that's not allowed. We stop them. We're very proactive about that, and we've actually been removing a gun off the street every 4 to 5 days in this year. So, and all of those 90% plus are previous criminals, and over 75% of them are out on bail when we get them.
How far, just for those watching around the country, how far is your village in regards to the city of Chicago?
We're about 25 miles southwest as the crow flies. And one important thing that I forgot to mention there that we also do is we require our businesses to support our police. So if they are robbed, we expect them to file a criminal complaint. If they do not, we cite them, because if they don't file complaints, then criminals target their businesses and target other businesses.
And if I understand, this crime is as low as it's been in 27 years. You're doing something right, clearly. Have you been consulting with Mayor Lori Lightfoot by chance? Has she reached out to you in any way, noticing the stats in your area and perhaps maybe wanting them to essentially implement those in the Windy City?
Lori Lightfoot has certainly not reached out, and the only reach out she's ever made to our village or any of the other suburbs, to my knowledge, is asking us to provide police support for her for the fact that they are down officers because they've let them go, or they've put them on furlough, or they've retired. So the fact that she mistreats her officers is not going to create stress on us for us to provide police support for her city.
Let me play this for you, and then I'll let you go here. This is Mayor Lori Lightfoot ignoring the crime issues like we're talking about, but saying things like this about vaccines.
If you're going in that coffee shop to pick up and go, you don't need to show proof. But if you're going to linger, you're going to eat that muffin, you're going to sit down with your laptop, you got to show proof of vaccination.
Tough on that. So many people are getting shot, dying, etc. Crimes spiking beyond belief there in Chicago. But she's coming hard down with a hammer. Keith Pekau, tell me how you feel about that.
Well, so Cook County did the same thing. And last night at our board, we had a special board meeting where we said we will not enforce any of these actions. Cook County wanted our law enforcement to enforce similar actions. Our police chief spoke, and as we pointed out last night, we're going to focus our police officers on actually enforcing real crime. We are not going to send them into our 250 businesses that are covered by this order to ensure that they're checking vaccination cards. I'm much more concerned about keeping our residents and our businesses safe, and maybe Mayor Lightfoot should do the same in Chicago, and we wouldn't see these same problems in the suburbs.
The citizens like that word safe, no matter where you go. Mayor Keith Peacock joining us live here. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year.
You too.